What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Crime Time Podcast. And I wanted to talk to you guys about a pretty viral case that went down a while back today or just recently. The books closed on it. Was justice served? In the end, you let me know in the comments. But this is when the Puerto Rican Punisher saved the day. A pretty wild story, right? Involving a strip club in a Florida strip club at that, right? You know, they say only in Florida, the wildest stuff goes down in Florida. So not just in Florida, at a strip club of all places in Tampa, a crazy son of a bitch in a devil mask. And side note, mental health, mental illness, no laughing matter or anything like that. But you got to take care of yourself. You got to, if you know someone, get them help and all that. This is like an example of someone not taking care of themselves and with no regard for others.
He's standing next to me, that we could have been here discussing a mass shooting in the city of Tampa. But thanks to their heroic actions, today an armed suspect is in custody and no lives were lost. Let me walk you through how we got here. Sunday morning, just after 1 a.m., Michael Rudman, 44-year-old, he arrived in a silver pickup at the Mons Venus. Rudman exited his truck wearing a red and black devil mask with the words "Kill" and "Dark One" on his arms.
Now you heard that. That's what I mean. Crazy son of a bitch. A devil mask, "Kill" and "Dark One" written on him. Also armed. You're going to hear it all. You've seen the footage rolling. Do you remember this case? This guy saved a lot of lives. We hear about these shootings. It's terrible that they happen. It's scary. This is one that didn't happen because of this guy's heroics. As you've already seen the footage in the video, he wasn't backing down. But then this crazy bastard ran at him when he had the gun. He's like, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. He turned around, ran right back at him, I swear. It's nuts, man.
He had a fully loaded 9mm firearm in one hand and a flashlight in the other. A watchful and alert security guard, Mr. Manny Resto, spots Rudman just before...
Manny Resto, a.k.a. or formerly known as the Puerto Rican Punisher. Now, any pro wrestling fans out there, I'm a wrestling fan. Not so much these days or whatever, but I can't seem to find much about this guy's wrestling career. I think he wrestled in WCW. If you know, leave it below. I seen it got a lot of coverage in wrestling news sites, national news. Like, this was a big deal. This guy's a hero. But anything about his wrestling career, if you know, let me know. But check it out. You heard him. A watchful or whatever. This guy did his job, right? You know, they say, do your job. That saying. This guy does his job, and you're going to see attention to detail, just everything. I mean, I've shown up at work before, hungover, slacking. Maybe we have all done it, but if this dude was lacking at all, lives more than likely would have been lost. And it's not just that he pounced on him quick. You'll hear it all. He does his job to the fullest.
Before he enters the venue and attempts to take the gun from his hand, Rudman fought back. During the struggle, a single round from Rudman's gun struck the door of the business. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Manny was able to knock the gun out of Rudman's hand, and with the help of additional security guards, including Mr. Danny Baham, they were able to pin Rudman to the ground. All of this happened in less than a minute. And any police officer will tell you, fighting with an armed suspect for a minute seems like an eternity. We're all thankful for their heroism, and I have no doubt that had they not stepped in, many lives would have been lost.
Is it disingenuous or better that he's reading off like a paper? You hear him flopping through the pages. I mean, he's giving a good speech and all. I'm just curious to everyone out there. If you're like, man, you're trying to commend this guy for what he did, putting his life on the line. But that's his job, right? But he does his job to the fullest. But I just want to know, just question, right? Does that come off like fumbling through pages and maybe mixed on a word or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a guy talking into a freaking phone. This guy's a police at a press conference. Do you think it comes off less from the heart when he's doing it that way? I want to know. I think out loud like that sometimes. But seriously, he fought with him, got the gun from him. Like, dude was just gonna go right up in there, snatch the gun. But then the guy charged at him, and I think it looks like he pistol whipped him or whatever, but only one round goes off in all.
There were approximately 200 people inside the venue at that time. When our officers arrived, they located 2 additional fully loaded magazines in his pocket. Inside his truck, they found 9 knives, 2 gun holsters, and loose ammunition. While we have no concrete evidence at this time of any type of ideology that would have motivated Redmond, we do know that he visited Mons Venus the night before. Redmond is a resident of Largo with no prior criminal history in Hillsborough County. However, in Pinellas, he has previous charges of domestic violence, battery, reckless driving, and DUI. In addition to that, he has multiple prior Baker Acts in Pinellas County, as well as an active risk protection order due to his mental state. He's currently being held in jail at Hillsborough County.
That's why I'm calling this bastard a crazy son of a bitch. Devil mask, dark one, tons of ammo, all that. He was going there to hurt a lot of people. And what happened? He's obsessed with some stripper that works there or something the night before. She didn't give him a lap dance. Or I don't know. You know what is wrong with this guy? Evil.
Okay, well, I was standing by the door. We always alternate positions, you know, someone inside the club, someone outside the club, somebody's walking the girls to their cars. It was my turn to be outside.
Strip clubs to some people get a bad rap. I don't know. I don't look down on anyone. You know, I'm not that kind of individual. It's a strip club. You know, a lot of women make a good living. Some strip clubs are better, some aren't. But the job is what I'm getting at. You hear him breaking it down. Is all about safety there. Not just crazy bastards with guns. Weirdos want to stalk the girls. You know, it's a lot you got to do. Walk the girls to the car safely. Make sure no stalkers are lurking around, all that. And that's what I mean. This guy is on point. He's like the Secret Service of the strip club, only in Florida.
And I noticed this truck was blocking parked cars in front of me. So I was going to ask the person to find a parking space or move, but I like to wait and let people do it themselves, think about themselves, because I don't want to upset people. You know what I mean? I don't want to try to, you know. So I was waiting for him to move, or a person, and then all of a sudden I see the car was running, and he opened the door and he got out of the car, and I noticed the devil mask, and I was like, okay, it's not Halloween.
It ain't Halloween. That cracked me up when I heard it, but no laughing matter. But thanks to this guy, we can laugh at that. No lives lost. One round struck a door. It's really amazing, man. And again, anyone you're gonna hear him talk about is pro wrestling, MMA. I think he says. I want to find out more about this dude's career, if anyone knows.
Maybe it's some type of trick or a gag, you know, because I was a professional wrestler, MMA guy. I know a lot of big guys. I've worked security for 30 years. I know a lot of bouncers. I thought it was one of my friends playing a trick on me.
That sounds kind of wild, right? But it's like, dude, devil mask pulling up at the Florida strip club. You see this crazy bastard, Rudman, is a big son of a bitch. So, like he said, the pro wrestling world, MMA, the gym, lots of just jacked up dudes. This dude isn't Jack. He's big as hell though, right? He looks like he could be a knockoff Kane, the Undertaker's brother or something like that. A devil mask. Like, is this someone playing a trick on me?
So I was kind of smiling while it was approaching. He was approaching. He approached slow, measured steps, and he didn't say a word. And I was waiting for the punchline. Then all of a sudden he came right up to me, and he was a very big man, very big. I was like, okay. Then he walked beside me. I guess he thought I didn't work there or I wasn't a threat or whatever. So he was right beside me. I was to the left. He was to the right. I saw him raise his hand, and he had a gun. So I saw him pointing it towards the door, and I decided that he was not going to enter the club and hurt anybody. So I concentrated on the gun, and I grabbed his gun hand and his wrist with both hands, and I turned it towards him, and then we started, banging.
He said we started banging, but seriously, that's where the footage picks up, is where the guy's just kind of walking in. He was just so nonchalant. Again, psycho. And this guy is a hero, saved the day. They started banging it out. You've seen the footage many times in this video. I'm sure, once again, you guys have seen this when it jumped off in the news. Again, we're going to get to an update where the books close on this. I want to know what everyone thinks about this. You heard the guy had a pretty wild record as far as criminal record, and then some kind of protection order, risk protection order out on him based on his mental health. I didn't look up exactly what that is, but doesn't sound good, right? It sounds like something that would be out on someone that would be running around with a devil mask on and guns and kill and dark one written on their body,
Everything, a lot of things are fuzzy because I got hit in the head quite a few times by the gun, and he also had a flashlight as well in the other hand. And I almost went unconscious, but I kept myself. I wasn't going to let this happen. I was not going to let him win. He was not going to hurt nobody.
And there's a moment where you get his gun, and he's still coming towards you. What's going through your mind in that moment?
Well, what I wanted to do was get him on the ground and get the gun away from him. That was what I was trying to do. When it happened, he fell towards the door. The gun went on the other side of me. I scrambled. I thought, let me get the gun. He is not going to get the gun. He is not going to get it off. I need to get to the gun. So I got to the gun. And at first, I tried to do it, the police way or whatever way. I pointed a gun and said, get on the floor, freeze, don't move. You don't move. I had no intentions of shooting. I just wanted to scare him and get him on the ground. But in all this time, he didn't utter a word. So I knew I was in a fight for my life. He rushed towards me, and we got in it again. So we tussled and tumbled. I got him on the floor. I got the gun again, and I kept him on the floor.
I believe that's when the other guy showed up.
From happening, it was a team effort, and it takes a team effort to...
Right there, I skipped ahead a little bit, but you hear him saying a team effort. Those guys came just in the nick of time, and I think he pistol whipped him. I don't know. But we'll go with a little more of this and then the update.
To stop people like that. And another thing, we cannot mind our own business in society. We cannot, we have to help. We have to help together to stop people like this. And they're not going to stop us from living. They're not going to stop us from, going out and everything else.
So the Puerto Rican Punisher is a hero. Again, that guy had a lot of ammo on him. He came there not even speaking words throughout the whole thing. Just a crazy, evil bastard, like he said. The Puerto Rican, Mr. Resto here, the formerly known as the Puerto Rican Punisher, right? Like, these people are out there. Like, I'm on my business. And you heard him too. He sounds like I don't want to say a non-confrontational guy, right? Being a bouncer, they got a job to do. Confrontations happen often, but he's not confrontational in the way he was talking about. I like to see if I keep my eye on. That's what I mean. This guy does his job, man. He's on point, no lacking, none of that. And he's like, yo, the car, I don't know, it was blocking. I like to see what people, but he was on point already. And but at the end of the day, though, you see some wild shit going on. You can either step up or not, right? I'm on my business. Let me know what you guys all think about this. You know, we're not just talking about this story. We're talking about society, news, life, only in Florida, all of that. Please subscribe, join the discussion, trying to build this channel up, but hear from you guys, the good people of the blogosphere out there. But this is wild, man. This dude saved the day. Again, you hear about these shootings. This is one that didn't happen because of this gentleman.
A man caught on video attempting to carry out a potential mass shooting at the Mons Venus Gentlemen's Club in Tampa last year pled guilty to the crime. News Channel 8's Georgia MacArthur has the details.
Michael Rudman is accused of a potential mass shooting back in 2023 at Mons Venus, a gentleman's club in Tampa. Prosecutors say it was the best outcome. Surveillance video from March 2023 shows Rudman trying to storm into the nightclub wearing a devil mask and armed with a gun. Security guard Manny Resto fought to keep him out, wrestling the weapon away.
I decided that he was not going to enter the club and hurt anybody.
Once officers arrived, they found more ammunition, knives, and firearm accessories in Rudman's truck. Evidence the club's owner believes proves his deadly intent.
He'd have got in there and just shot that gun, it would hit somebody.
Rudman was facing decades in prison, but state attorney Susie Lopez says other factors influenced the deal.
Mr. Rudman had no prior record whatsoever, and so he was offered 10 years in the Florida State Prison for taking responsibility for what it is that he did that night. And Rudman...
So, 10-year sentence. The prosecutors, they say that was the best possible outcome. Initially, with what he was charged with, I'm not exactly quite sure what the max is. I'm no legal expert, right? But I'm well versed in some law here or there, in a layman's term kind of way, a everyday guy kind of way. But is 10 years, is that, how do you feel about that? You know, they're saying they're taking his mental health into effect with it all. I don't know, man. Like, it's so wild. That guy wanted to kill a lot of people. The Puerto Rican Punisher saved the day. 10 years prison sentence. Do you believe that's good? You should have got more time, less. What do you think about the whole mental health aspect of it, where they're saying that played a factor? Do you feel that people, like if you're getting to the point where you're plotting on hurting people, you know, you're neglecting getting help for your mental health, and no one should have sympathy for you, or what? You know, like different states, things go differently. But I know in New York State, like I've lived in New York State and in Florida, right? And I know in Florida, when people were getting out of jail, they were like, whatever, go, you know, and they're just kind of thrown out into society. In New York, they give everyone health insurance. They got to go to some kind of facility, typically, unless they're going home on parole. And then from that point, whether you're in a facility or at home, there's a curfew. You have to go to mental health, drug screenings. They try to get you in there, get you on meds, get you in schooling or something like that. You know what I mean? There's some kind of system in play or whatever. But yeah, man, 10-year sentence. I want to know everyone's thoughts, man. Again, subscribe. Let's talk it up. Kind of threw this video together, long in the tooth, I guess, a bit, if you will. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Florida, you know, it's like all the crazy shit goes on down there. But yeah, I feel like you're locking people up. You're saying, oh, this guy is he has mental health problems. Well, are they going to make sure that he's getting some kind of attention? And that's because, like I said, New York State, and anyone else too, if I'm wrong on anything, comment and let me know. I haven't lived there in like a decade, but I still keep in touch with people. And, they were doing a lot to try to make sure people get their ish together. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man, the Puerto Rican Punisher saved the day is a pretty wild story. Things could have went a different way. And you see how hell-bent this guy was on death and destruction. The fact that when the guy had the gun on him, he came in swinging on him, He didn't care if he got killed, apparently. And dude is such a nice guy. He's trying to do his job, make sure everyone's safe, the people of the club,